Hey everybody, it's Dissident here and welcome to D&D React. Today we're going to be reacting to The Odd Ones Out, Getting Lost at Camp Geronimo. Now I am familiar with just a few of these videos, I haven't seen that many, and I saw this one just came out recently. A lot of people are liking it, so I figured why not just react to it for you guys. So, without further ado, just get right into it.
If you haven't read Lord of the Flies, you're probably going to have to in school one day. Let me give you an abridged version.
Real quick, I've heard of that book. Never read it though, and I don't believe I ever had to. Honestly, I always hated like literature and English classes back in school. It wasn't my best subject, but don't think I ever had to read that. So, but I'll listen to you.
For when that time eventually comes. The Lord of the Flies is a book about a bunch of little British boys who got marooned on a deserted island, and the book tells the story about what the boys do to survive the elements, but also themselves. Within like a week on the island, the boys devolve into complete savages.
I've always loved the animations of. I just do. I really love the animations that they do here. I just think they're adorable. They're super colorful. And first of all, ligma. Apparently, all those 4 little British boys got ligma, and that's no good. No, we don't want that. We don't want it.
Covering themselves in face paint and killing a piggy. I said too much. And when I read the book in high school, I thought having the boys turn savage so quickly wasn't all that accurate. As a former young boy myself, I was...
Bro, look how much of an outie he has. Look at that little belly button. It's like a toe. He has an 11th toe sticking out of his tummy. He's so cute.
Insulted that William Golding thought that us little boys were so heartless. But then I remembered all the things that happened at my scout camp, Camp Geronimo, and I realized that Lord of the Flies is still inaccurate. The boys would have gone savage way faster. Listen, I'm a cautious person when I'm hanging around the guys. In PE,
Oh, yeah.
the other boys would be playing this game called Quarters, where you would fling quarters at people's knuckles until they bled, but I wouldn't play that game.
I actually do remember that game. Honestly, watching this is kind of bringing back some school memories. I do remember people playing that game. Did I ever play it? I don't think so. Did I watch people play it like my friends back in the days? I did. I do remember that being a thing, so... Wow. Nice little memories that you don't even think about sometimes.
Because it's dangerous and I'm a loser. Or when I was at a party and someone wanted to play the knife game to show off how good their hand-eye coordination was.
That I remember. There was this one particular guy. He did it all the time with a pen. And he did it fast, bro. He did it fast. Heck no. No. That's not my thing. I always did it slow. I'll just be like, I ain't trying to cut my fingers. I ain't trying to get hurt. I'm just doing it just because I'm bored. I ain't doing it like that.
I wouldn't play that game either because I needed my hands to draw. But something about being with the guys in the middle of the woods, I would live on the edge. Every summer, our troop stayed at this camp called Camp Geronimo, named after the Apache Indian who was the first person to yell Geronimo while doing a sick backflip into his pool.
Really?
One time, me and a couple other boys...
Into his pool with goggles and everything? Alright, bet.
I don't remember who started it, but... we were playing with matches, and okay, I know what you're thinking, but nothing bad happened, okay? We just accidentally lit some dried bushes on fire, and it got somewhat out of control. But it's okay, it's fine, okay?
It's alright.
We told the scout
There's nothing wrong with a little forest fire. I'm just kidding. I'm playing around. Don't get sensitive. I'm just messing around. Did I ever play with fire? Honestly, I play with fire now, if anything. Sometimes I'll just be hanging out outside, and there's a box of matches. And I'll just light them up. I don't know why. It's just like a soothing feeling for me.
Master that there was a loose fire spreading faster than we could put it out, and he got everyone in the troop to stomp on it, and we never got in trouble. Well, what were we doing with the matches? Oh, we were just lighting them and throwing them at each other. Anyway, about 30 other scout troop...
Hold on. Bring that back. Didn't he just say that he didn't want to flick quarters at people because it was dangerous, but then he's out here lighting up matches and then throwing them at his friends in a forest around dry bushes? He's got it twisted. That's exactly why these type of things happen. Learn from these mistakes.
groups attended Camp Geronimo, and we would spend a whole week sleeping in tents and earning merit badges. Most of the camp honestly felt like school, but outside. Like, when you got to the camp, you were given a schedule of classes, and for the next 7 days, you would go to those classes and learn and fill out
What did it say about owls? I'm sorry. Hold
schedule
on.
of classes, and for the next 7 days, you would go to...
Oh, okay. Spiders equals evil. Who likes them? I don't know why that's so funny to me. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit of a dork. My bad.
those classes and learn and fill out packets and sometimes even have homework, which probably helped us not
Homework
devolve
at
into
camp?
savages. I mean, sure, the classes weren't as boring as English or geometry. Geronimo's classes were wilderness survival, kayaking, or bear self-defense. Earning a merit badge required 2 things.
Hey! Oh my god, what's that Pokemon's name? Magikarp? I believe so. that was a nice little Easter egg.
The first thing, you had to write stuff down. Name and point out the major parts of a kayak. Kayak. Explain to your counselor the
That's me.
hazards you are most likely to encounter while participating in kayaking activities. Bears. And the second part of the merit badge, you had to actually go out and do stuff. Capsize the kayak, swim it and the paddle to the shore, and if you don't make...
I haven't gone kayaking. I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot, but I just kind of feel like expressing myself. I do like kayaking. I haven't gone in a long time. I haven't gone since like... I'm trying to think. It's like my freshman year, maybe sometime in middle school. It's really fun. It is a really fun thing. But the thing is, I've seen people, they turn over, they say it's the most terrifying thing. Like, you just can't see anything. So you guys got to be careful with that. If you ever go kayaking, try not to turn over. If you do, just keep calm. You'll get your way back up. That's just what I've heard from other people. But anyway.
make it, the bears will get you. I never got the kayaking merit badge. You had to be at least 12 to go to Geronimo, but you could go as an 11-year-old if a parent was coming with you. And at the time, my dad was a camp counselor. My birthday was May 14th, and Geronimo was at the end of May, so I barely made the cutoff as the youngest person going. Geronimo was a big step from spending 3 days at Cub Scout day camp to spending a week in the wilderness. What made it worse was I was going to be spending a whole week with all the mean older scouts and my dad. There was this one scout named Paul. When I was 11, he was 15. So naturally, he would pick up
Bullying is wrong. Don't bully.
on me and make fun of me. Ha ha, I get it. I'm small, so I suck. But silver lining, he got fatter. And a couple years ago, he reached out to me, and I had been doing the whole YouTube thing for a while. He was off starting his own business, and he wanted to do some business opportunity with me.
Really?
And I just said, hey, do you want to do my merch? So now he works for me. So kids, if you ever...
You're lying. Oh my god, that's a true story. That is so great. I mean, good for him. Good for the both of them, you know? Whatever. You both get something out of it.
have bullies, just become successful on YouTube and then hire them to sell plushies.
That's
He's
right.
actually a really good merch guy. He gets all my stuff into these retail stores. So if you see a Floof plushie at Hot Topic, you can say, thanks, Paul.
What did it say? Hot
Bullies really
Topic?
do make a difference. Anyway, self-promotion aside, my first year at Geronimo, I was a little bit on the very young side compared to everyone else. I was taking a class called orienteering. The class taught us how to read maps and use a compass. And one day it was time for our class to go on a scavenger hunt thing. We were given a list of places we had to go to.
Bro, I don't even remember the last time I went on a scavenger hunt. Is that incorrect? That compass is... No, for a split second I was like, that doesn't look right, but it does. It's probably because the letters are not in the right direction.
And we were supposed to use our compass and count our paces to get to each specific location. Then when we got to our destination, there would be a marker somewhere and we would have to write down what that marker was. There were
I wanna
10
go
different
home.
markers that we had to find, and the course was supposed to lead us in a circle. The leader who was in charge of our group and the compass was an older scout named Paul.
The
It
Paul
wasn't the
guy.
merch guy Paul, but I think
Oh,
it would be
different.
funnier if it was. Our group set off to the first location. Having a compass and counting your steps isn't the most accurate way of navigation, but we weren't allowed to use Google.
I don't know why it's reminding me of that SpongeBob episode with the Weast and all that stuff. I don't know why. I'm just getting like vibes from that.
Maps. So when we got to the spot, we had to look around for a little bit to find the marker, but we eventually found it, and then we were off to the second location. This time the marker was
Whoa.
harder to find. The spot we landed on was pretty far from where the marker actually was. At the third location, we couldn't find the marker. But we did see this reflective sign on a tree.
They're really seeing a whole bunch of bones, and they got some gold there, at least. A few gold coins for each of them. Was there 3? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 each. Hopefully they don't try to hurt each other to get more gold for themselves, because I know a lot of situations where that happens in movies and shows, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
And we figured that's what the marker was supposed to be, so we wrote it down. At this point, I decided to grab my own compass and give it a try. My compass pointed in a direction that was a little bit off from Paul's direction. Not by a whole lot, but just enough. But remember, I was the little kid. Nothing I said mattered. Paul said things to me like, "Oh, you don't know how to use a compass. I bet yours is broken. I'm never going to work for you one day." And you know what? I believed him. This guy is 15 years old. Do you know how wise and experienced he is? So we kept going and...
You know, I only had my permit for like... how many months? Like 3 months? I got it when I was like 18, so I got my permit. I didn't really have to drive. So I got my permit. I was like, let me learn real quick. Then I took my test and I passed. So being 15 and having a permit, I didn't really need to do it. There was no reason for me to do that. And I learned quick, you know. I was supervised for a while even when I had my license, because my parents wanted to make sure, you know, I could drive. But I was fine. I was doing good.
Struggling.
I just had to go to school.
Anything we found as a marker. Some piece of trash, it's a marker. Hey, this tree has an A and an M carved into a heart. Kind of weird that it's at an all-boys camp. Do you think that it's a marker? Eventually, we all had to admit that we were completely lost. The other boys told Paul to hand over his compass, and Paul reached into his pocket, pulled out his compass, and 2 buzz magnets. Buzz magnets are magnets that are shaped like a bullet, and you can throw them up in the air, and they make this cool buzzing sound. They sold them at the camp store, so
I remember
that's why
those.
Paul had them. And everyone immediately figured out why we were lost. For those of you who don't know how compasses and magnets work,
Yeah.
I don't know either. I think it has something to do with them coming from outer space.
So kind of referring back to what I was saying about the compass, I never really noticed that that's actually how they are. Because it makes sense. I'm thinking about it every time they mention the compass. Like, I got confused because the letters were like that, but I've never actually seen a compass, like, in person. So I didn't know that that's how they were. I mean, if they're not, let me know. Because I actually don't know how compasses look. I know they work, but I actually don't know the design of a compass. But anyway, don't let me ramble.
A compass is supposed to point to the magnetic North Pole, and a magnet will mess up the direction a compass is supposed to point in. Paul's compass wasn't pointing to his pants the whole time. We would have been suspicious if that had happened. But because his compass was right next to a magnet, it got uncalibrated. And then we all got lost in the woods and died. And that's why I don't do an orienteering marathon. I was upset because my compass probably wasn't broken, but I didn't stand up for myself. Because I don't do that. I have more Camp Geronimo stories, like the time me and my friend threw a Ziploc bag full of water at the older kid's lean-to, and then I ran away so fast that I threw up. But I already did a video about that, and it's 5 years old, and it's very bad, and you're not allowed to watch it.
Oh, I was just about to say, I want to watch that one. Dang. I'm going to have to see if it's still available. I'm going to have to check.
So, the moral of this video is, just because you're young doesn't mean you're stupid. But it does mean you make bad videos on YouTube. Also, check your pockets before going orienteering. Going orienteering. Sounds like a tongue twister.
Going orienteering.
Going orienteering. Going orienteering. Well, that was my Camp Geronimo experience. It was a lot of fun. I wonder if the camps are open right now, if people would have to be quarantined inside the tents the whole time. I bet that would be pretty intense. As you've seen on the news, a lot of events
That was very punny. That was very punny.
are getting canceled or postponed, which include my events. So if you want to see updates to the events I'm going to, then follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because that's where I'm going to be posting updates. A lot of events have been postponed until further notice, so
I might check this out.
Just have to wait and see when everything dies down and we can go outside again. As always, a huge shout out to my awesome team for working on this video, especially considering how crazy the world has been recently. Everyone has pulled together and all worked on this video from home, which is pretty normal actually for us. On that note, we're all in this together. We'll get through this, and wash your hands.
Wash your hands. That was a really fun video. Like, I'm telling you, if you guys want me to do more of these, I'm gonna do more of them. Because I actually, every time I watch one, I enjoy it. I don't watch many, trust me. I know there's probably a whole bunch that I haven't seen. So, I might make this a little bit of a series. I'll make my own little playlist of the ones that I watched of this, because these are actually pretty fun. I enjoyed this. It was pretty funny. But yeah, everybody, wash your hands. Stay safe. Just like he said, when you go to Camp Geronimo, don't throw fires. Don't throw fires. Don't throw matches. Lit matches. And cause forest fires. It's no good. We don't want that. We already got problems with that in the world. We don't want it again. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.